Hey guys, welcome everyone to the second community spotlight of Open Web Foundry 7. So for this one, we're going to be having Axel, the founder of MetaWeave, as our alumni headliner, and then also three new projects that are currently participating in this edition of the Open Web Foundry. So if you don't know already, we have these events every Friday. And if you're a project that's currently participating and you want to present your project or idea to the community, get some feedback, potentially also recruit some support as well, just email me at jesse@arweave.org and we can set something up. So with that being said, we'll get Axel up here and he's going to be presenting Account, which is the next generation of Arweave ID. So Axel, if you could share your screen.
Hello.
Nice. Hey.
So yeah, if you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Looks good.
Okay, cool. So thank you, Jess, for inviting me to talk. Thanks everybody to come here and see the presentation. I'm the founder of MetaWeave, Chromatic App. A little bit of history here. MetaWeave was born during the Open Web Foundry number 4. It was called Agora at the time. And since then, I onboarded my best friend as a co-founder, so it's kind of a life-changing thing. So I wish you a good Open Web Foundry. There is still like a lot to build on the top of it, and I'm here to present you a tool that can be interesting for you as a builder for your app and this Open Web Foundry. This tool is called the Arweave account. So as we are all interacting with our wallets on the permaweb, there is a need for wallets to be recognized in a more human-friendly manner, I would say, because we just see like wallet keys. So that's why I went into making, the possibility of having an account, a permanent Arweave account linked to your key. So just a small word about it. Arweave account, I had the honor to be part of the winners during the Arweave Political Hackathon in March. So that's a great thing. Just wanted to let you know. I will explain you a little bit how it works, how the protocol works. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. An Arweave account is a simple transaction with basic profile data such as a handle name, an avatar, and also like a second nickname and social links. So to get the profile data of a wallet account, well, you just need to look at the latest transaction from a specific users that use, like, from a specific wallet that used this protocol. So on the left here you can see the timeline. So let's say when you start, you are on Arweave, just create your wallet. You have no account, you didn't interact with the protocol yet. So other people only see your wallet address, right? But then I can just make my account, my first account. This gonna throw a transaction with the data concerning like profile data that I would like other to see about me. And when you update it, you just make a transaction on the top of it. So it makes it like pretty light and simple. And at the same time, you also have like some sort of permanent version history of your profile setting linked to your wallet key. So I think, yeah, it's pretty cool. So the thing on an like open storage based on blockchain is that anyone can write any data as long as the transaction is valid and the miners valid it and stuff. So it's possible for users to call themselves like another user. So the approach we took is similar to Discord. So on Discord you can set up any name you want, and there is this unique identifier 6039 for me if you want to reach out on Discord. So I took the same approach, and I was thinking, yeah, well, the unique identifier of a user is obviously the wallet address. So with this protocol, your full handle is a combination of the name that you set and a unique identifier derived from your wallet key. So that's the idea. So the minimum account should have this handle name. So to make it simple to interact with it, I released an npm package called Arweave account to know the account of someone according to their key. So I'm gonna show you a quick demo how to do it. So here I have like a basic React application, almost like it's just a basic React application. So on app.tsx, I just added, like the connection with rconnect. And the bit that is interesting for us is the profile component, where I pass the wallet address. So basically how it works, I'm gonna log in here. Oh. I accept this and I log in, and then it's gonna get the data concerning my key. So I have my avatar that I can show here. I have my unique handle here, and I also like put the entire data. You can see. So in the protocol there are social links, name, bio, and so on. So if I go on the profile component, it's really simple. So you import account from Arweave account, right? And then you make a new instance, and you can simply say account.get and paste, like put the wallet address you want. Actually, there is 3 interesting methods. So you have get, you can get the account of a specific wallet. You can also find specific account handle. So if I put this one here and I save and I just reload the page, yeah, it finds it, right? Or you can also search. So search is more like you can search a specific handle that is not the full handle, and it's gonna bring you all the users that have the similar name, but with like and then you can pick up the profile you like. So for this demo, like how I did it, so I'm just showing the avatar and the user profile handle, right? So what you can do is, like, if the user didn't set an avatar, you can just fall back on a default avatar. So I can show you if I decide to log in with my second account here that has no avatar. Yep. I think, is there something, because I changed the code before? Give me just a second. Yes, let's try it again. Log in. I log with my second avatar, my second key. Accept. All right. Well, this is something I need to look at. So the thing is that this works with also a permanent application. You can reach it at account.metawave.xyz. So the cool thing is, like, when you use it, you can simply redirect your user to this application. So they can actually, so this works here. I'm connected with this wallet. You can actually redirect them here, and they can edit the profile directly. This is gonna send a transaction, and so you don't need to build it again. If you want to extend it, or to bring more features on it, you can directly go on the GitHub of the application, and we are open for pull request and whatever. Also, with this, I made interactive documentation. So basically, these are the usage. You have the get method, the search method, and the find method. So, for example, I can test it in live. Here is I look for DMAC. I have one profile here. I can see like the unique handle here, and this is his address, right? So can try it here. For example, we want to get user profile by wallet address. Let's try it here. All right, and we have his user profile. So the cool thing with it is that because you see it's permanent app here stored, on the permaweb. So and it embed this library. So you some sort of have a frozen protocol, like a protocol frozen in time. So that's pretty cool to try it, to test it, and also for debugging. So that's the idea. So the cool features that goes with it is that it's compatible for Node and browser. You actually don't need to make any configuration because it looks for the window object. So the library knows what is the environment. There is caching that is there. So when you are looking for a result, it's cached somewhere and with some default value you don't really need to care about. But if you want, you can change this value here in the option, right? And also like you have the interactive documentation on account. At the moment, we're working like on the extension of the protocol with the founder of Permanent, Tom. It's really interesting. I will not talk about it now, but if you want to know more about it, there is a thread on the GitHub repository, so feel free to come and see and discuss. And here are like the link that I will send you to the chat after this presentation, which sum up a little bit of everything. If you have like any question or you want to participate or you have some issue to use it, you can reach out on the GitHub or on the Discord to me personally. Would be like really happy to help. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I wish you like a good open web foundry for everybody, and see you on the permaweb.
Amazing. Thank you, Axel. Yeah, we're also gonna have the mingle session afterwards. So if you guys have any questions for Axel about account and also MetaWeave, which I know you didn't really talk about, but obviously that's a really important tool in the Arweave ecosystem. You can come find him there.
Yeah, if I can add something, account is also like on MetaWeave. So when your user, for example, they log in and they see their avatar and stuff, they can also go on MetaWeave to search. There is a search bar. They can search for other users. They can look for a wallet key and find the account of people.
Yeah, I'll throw that also just in the chat here as well, so everybody can see MetaWeave. 1 second. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Axel.
Thank you, Jess.
And next up, we're going to have Val, who's going to be presenting Foreverland, which is a Web3 cloud computing platform. So Val, if you could tell us a little bit more about that, and come up and share your screen.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, great. Okay, then I start. So let me share the screen. All right. So hello, everyone. I'm Val from Foreverland, and it's been quite a lot of time since the last time we took part in the spotlight of Arweave, and since then we've released our product, which is called Foreverland Bucket. We've received some feedback from users, we've implemented some changes into the product, and therefore we would like to synchronize with the Arweave community our current development status and the plans for the future development. So a few words about the Foreverland. Foreverland is a Web3 cloud computing platform, which integrates storage computing, network core capabilities, and computing. So this is a platform which helps users to make a smooth leap from Web 2 to Web 3, and of course become it aims to become a solution which would become the infrastructure for more and more decentralized apps. So when the last time we were talking about Bucket, there were only renderings of the product, but right now it is on already existing product, which I would like to present and show you guys how it works. So let me do that. Yeah, here it is. So we've implemented logging through wallets because we see that is saves lots of time for users and much easier than other variants of logging. When the users are logging through to the Bucket, they see the main page, which has a new Bucket button. Bucket actually is a folder which is directly uploaded to the Arweave. So when we press new Bucket Arweave type name, we may upload it to Arweave. Also, we have a small module which is called AR history. Is here it is a small model which shows users all the files that they uploaded to AR, and if they press to the file, they see like basic information about it. If they press verify on AR, they see the information of transaction. So it's quite easy to use, and I think extremely informative to mass users. This is a piece of our recent development. We've decided to integrate Bucket with Mountain Duck, as we see, and we want Arweave to become an infrastructure solution for more Web 2 developers, and become the infrastructure solution for like classical S3 compatible solutions. And this is a part of our plans, as we would like to continue integrating Bucket, which is based on Arweave with the classical traditional S3 platforms, letting more and more developers from Web 2 use Arweave. Also, we are planning to implement the support of multiple currencies and smart weave into Bucket. Also, we have the other product which is called hosting, and we would like also to make to integrate hosting with Arweave. So these are links, so you're welcome to see and use yourself in the Bucket. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Val. I know it's late over where you're located, so thank you for making time for all of us. And thank you for providing all those links. This is also going to be recorded, so you guys can always go back and check it out on the YouTube channel and go back to some of these links. But thank you, Val. So next up, we're going to have Niraj, who's going to be presenting Lucrisma, which is a MetaFi company who's providing a suite of blockchain-enabled financial products that will bridge assets between the real world and the metaverse. Hey, Niraj, how are you doing?
Hey, good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep. And we can see your screen.
Awesome. All right. So firstly, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so excited to be talking to fellow community members at Arweave. Lucrisma is a new age financial services company that's metaverse first. Our mission is to be the leading MetaFi company that bridges the metaverse with the real world in a bi-directional fashion, on top of obviously blockchain and digital assets. So the success for us would look like in a few years, if you go to our website and you compare that with Fidelity or BlackRock or Merrill Lynch or any of these that have the traditional financial products. And if you come to Lucrisma, you should see all kinds of similar products, except that they are powered by digital assets and they are available to users in the metaverse and outside of it. The problem we're trying to solve is that metaverse is going to be a huge economy. Some studies are projecting it to grow to about $13 trillion by the year 2030 and have 5 billion engaged users. However, there is no company that's currently building a metaverse first financial services organization, or an organization that offers financial services that are natively built for the metaverse. Also, the average user does not understand metaverse or even blockchain and all these other cryptocurrencies, and especially the regulatory and compliance aspects of it. Also, there are some people who are not going to be in the metaverse because the way it's currently accessed with the Oculus devices and the wristbands, etc., they're just not going to be able to or willing to strap themselves with those devices for hours on end. To solve this problem, we've started building Lucrisma, which is going to be offered through our web app, through a mobile app, and our offices in Metaverse. Our core IP is the building of this infrastructure, which would provide unified identity. It would provide compliance, so KYC, AML. It will also do KYT, which will enable a user to have an identity that connects them across different ecosystems. So if a new customer comes up and says, and they sign up to Lucrisma and they add a few Ether to the Lucrisma wallet, and then they buy a piece of land in Decentraland, we would know that this is the same user because of the unified identity who has some Ethereum on his wallet and a piece of land in Decentraland. And then maybe they can combine those two in a portfolio to take mortgage out on another piece of land in a third metaverse, let's say Sandbox, right? So that's what we're trying to achieve. And like I said, everything is going to be sitting on top of this core subnet, which is going to provide the identity, the compliance, and the regulatory. Our team is quite experienced, but more importantly, it's not just focused on development. We have on our team a legal expert, a chief designer who's done a lot of great, well-known projects in the crypto and Web3 space, and now increasingly in the metaverse. And we have a marketing person as well. Our roadmap, we start shipping out our software in Q3 of this year. And as far as the our product roadmap is aligned with our marketing roadmap, so we are going to be focusing heavily on building our community as we launch these products, or even before we start launching these products. Our LCR token and our functionality is going to be currently being built on the Avalanche blockchain, but our architecture is multi-chain and it's multi-metaverse. So we will be launching our smart contracts on other chains and other metaverses as well. Arweave is not going to be just a storage layer for us. We are using Arweave in a bunch of different ways, some of which are mentioned on this screen here. So our website, our mobile app, and a bunch of our metaverse assets would be on Arweave. When I talk about the metaverse assets, what I mean is a lot of these immersive AR, VR style product models that our customers would interact with. And that's like the big differentiator when you go to a mobile app or a web app to let's say stake some tokens. Especially for new people, it can be intimidating and overwhelming, but the experience that we're offering inside of the metaverse is that it's going to be interactive, it's going to be real lifelike, so people would be able to touch those wallets and stake those tokens in those wallets and really understand how the products work. And that's one of our guiding principles, is to educate our customers, so they not only understand these products, they understand the value of financial discipline and investment. So we're going to have a significant amount of our IP on Arweave, which would also include our bot interactions, which is the avatar that the customers would be greeted with inside of the metaverse, our ledger, and also all the NFTs, not just the avatars, but also some NFTs that we will give to our loyal customers. We're going to have some marketing campaigns for our first 10,000 and first 100,000 customers, which will include giving those personalized avatars. I would also like to quickly show you guys a quick demo of our. This is our mobile app. We are currently building our. Currently building the office in Decentraland, and Sandbox is coming soon. So this is the landing page where the customer can come in and they can look at their business at a glance. They can look at all the holdings. We have all these options here, so they can come in and they can buy a piece of land, or they can take a mortgage on a piece of land. They can transfer tokens. They can do everything that they can do on a traditional crypto app that does borrowing and lending, but we are doing far more. We're doing some mortgage products as well. So they would be able to come in and they'll be able to identify a piece of land, and they'll be either able to buy it or sell it or take mortgage out on that piece of land. So I'm conscious of the time, but I'd look forward to meeting with you guys in the mingle session, and I look forward to having more conversations. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that overview, Niraj. That was excellent. Yeah, I guess everybody knows the metaverse is kind of exploding within the ecosystem, and haven't been hearing too much talk about infrastructure tooling to actually support that. So really excited about what you guys are building. So thank you for presenting that. Yep, and then next up we have Ryan, already in front of the mic, ready to go. He's going to be presenting Spider, a Web3 content discovery platform. So Ryan, if you could just share your screen, and then we can get started.
You guys see that?
Yep.
Awesome. Hey guys, I'm Ryan. Super happy to be here. Actually was a fly on the wall for the last Open Web Foundry, but just kind of kept my mouth shut and just trying to see what problems there are to solve with the permaweb. So I kind of came into this idea with Spider to try to solve this problem of freedom of search and discovery with the new tools that we have to build the future. So Spider is a people-powered gateway to the new web. And the problem that I'm trying to solve right now is that traditional search and discovery engines, as we all know, centralize, harvest, and monetize end user data, thereby profiting off of people as the product. And these companies are really good at it, whether it's Instagram, surfacing ads to us, or Google, or YouTube, or TikTok. They're really good at providing engaging content to us, but obviously we are in no control over that content. And we've seen time and time again these platforms taking content and changing geopolitics and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I think the opportunity that Arweave presents is that Spider will leverage Arweave's unique architecture to build user-owned, community-controlled data layer that powers the next generation of search and discovery experiences cross-chain. So just as a little caveat, I'm super early in this project. I'm in the ideation, modeling, research phase of the project. So this isn't built, but I wanted to get in here early to get some more feedback from the community, get some more ideas and input, and build this thing with you guys. All right, weave the web. Decentralizing the exchange of interest. So if we're building a model to create a user experience that is on par with a Google or Instagram or TikTok in not just searching content on the blockchain, but discovering and being recommended content on the blockchain. How do we go about doing this? So I've been asking myself this question What if the innovations of DeFi smart contracts could expand beyond finance? What would it look like if the consensus and incentive mechanisms that make up automated market makers could apply to new types of coordination problems? Spider aims to leverage the composability of SmartWeave contracts to create a new type of decentralized exchange, or DEX. We call this an index, a decentralized exchange of interests. So yeah, I got 5 minutes. I'll talk to you guys more about this afterwards. I could nerd out about this, but we have to figure out a mechanism to be able to create a people-powered index to be able to surface and recommend content to end users on your web. So perma-web IDs. So at the center of Spider are what I'm calling PIDs, perma-web IDs. So PIDs are atomic NFTs that contain a user's opt-in interest graph. This collection of user interests is represented as a spider web. So when a user goes and indexes their interests within this user graph, their interests are basically saved within this user interface. So this is just a design right now. Side note, I've been kind of nerding out about how and why spiders build webs. And interestingly enough, I've learned that spiders build webs not just as a way to protect themselves and catch food and whatnot, but they're actually a way that spiders communicate to each other. And I've discovered and researched a lot of really interesting ways on how spiders go about creating and weaving these webs to get together as communication devices. And they actually are weaved in ways that create consensus and all sorts of crazy stuff that I can get into another time. So this user interface represents a spider web. Each one of these circles is a node, also kind of quasi resembles a spider's leg that they use to weave a web. And within each one of these nodes would hold an indexed hash of a user's data. So whatever their interests are, that could be NFTs. Each one of these nodes could be a musical loop that syncs together potentially. Each one of these nodes could represent job offerings, DAOs that they're in. It could be specific interests. It could also represent on-chain holdings. So an NFT that a user has in their wallet could show up within this user interface. It gets really interesting when you start looking at this user interface as a multi-person type of user experience. So what would it look like to have multiple people connected to this user interface? And what can you do with that? All right, so a couple potential opportunities I think we have here is one, looking at this user interface as a navigation tool, a place that kind of bookmarks and collects your interests, and bookmarks and collects your on-chain data, and bookmarks and collects different holdings that you have in your wallet, and allows you to quickly navigate to that. Where it gets interesting, let me go back a little bit, is when you start composing different webs together and creating this graph of other people's interests together, and being able to surface other people's index data as a recommendation engine for you to add other people's interest data to your web. And once you start to have this composability and interchanging of interest between different people's webs, I think that's when you create this recommendation layer that can scale, right? So that's the first user experience. The second one is this gate. So a gated access to X. So a couple of weeks ago, I locked my bike up, and I couldn't find my key, and I was freaking out, and I was like, how am I going to pick this lock? And I got a pretty decent bike lock. I couldn't break it with a hammer or anything. So I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to research how do you pick a lock, bike lock, and I realized that inside this little cylinder of this bike lock is each one of these mechanisms that you have to slide to the left and right is called a gate. And then my mind said, oh my gosh, what if this user interface became a gate, or a gated access to whatever, a gated access to a Discord channel, gated access to a different protocol. So potentially when you have your different index data within each one of these nodes, and that being different things that you have within your wallet or NFT holdings or whatnot, you could have utilize this user interface as this composable mechanism for gated entry into X, a Discord channel, protocol, or whatnot. Where it becomes more interesting, again, is when you're looking at this UI as a multiplayer type thing, and you say, like, all right, in order to get into this metaverse experience or into this musical show or generative art experience, whatever it is, or potential coin offering, whatever it is, the spider web has to be, you have to have 9 people in here. And once 9 people are in and each one of them has their specific NFT or whatever, then it creates this unlock mechanism. I was really inspired last week by Redstone and their VRF ability to be able to create randomization on chain, which I don't think has only been done by Chainlink so far. So there's a potential to have randomized, almost like a spinning of this web, where you can have randomized control or randomized access into something. And at that point, you have this almost like gamified experience of access into said protocol or whatnot. I can talk way more about that afterwards if you guys are interested. The next one, so the first one is a navigation or navigate type of experience. The second one is a gated experience using this user interface to gain access to a certain thing. The next one is creating an actual gateway. So what would it look like to have, if we're looking at this user interface, instead of this top-down model, this was an immersive web XR experience where you're stepping into each one of these kind of domes, and each one of these domes represents different interests, whether it's NFT holding, or people that are interested in a game, or people that are interested in a yield opportunity, or whatever. Just creating these shared rooms depending on access holdings that you have in your wallet. And what would it look like to have a gateway on Arweave that is basically a metaverse experience? My background is in creating metaverse, web XR, VR, AR experiences. That's kind of my specialty. So I'm trying to imagine what a gateway on Arweave would look like, and not just as a place to like point and serve data, but like these full page immersive experiences that we can get into. And coming up on time. So lastly, once we have all this index data in this filtered and cacheable database, and we have this ability to be able to add other people's interest to your interest graph, and creating this way to be able to create decentralized recommendation, that's when we can kind of pull the resource together and this protocol together as a cross-chain tool for other protocols and other chains to adapt. My thinking here is this branding called Search, which has AR in the middle, and potentially in the same way that you have Google Search embedded in different platforms, you could, in essence, enable our recommendation engine to be embedded in different protocols cross-chain. And that's the main unique proposition, I feel like, with Arweave. It's like you have Arweave as a store of value for our carving cross-chain. And then you have kind of all of us that are in here building these permaweb apps and all this kind of stuff. But how can we create these user experiences that would incentivize other blockchains and other communities to want to leverage the data store in Arweave, and all the accessibility and flexibility that we have with that? How can we use those data stores in other blockchains, and not just look at Arweave as a store of as an archival store? So yeah, a lot to say in 5 minutes. I'm happy, and I want to be able to nerd out about any one of these things. But yeah, super happy to be here. Tried to get in here early, and appreciate you guys so much. I'm not used to sharing my ideas, putting my face out there and whatnot, but I think the thing that I love about the Arweave community so much is that it attracts long-term thinkers, people that aren't in for a quick buck, but people that are trying to build sustainable change. And I think everybody's here with this mindset that we want freedom. So love to keep collaborating with you guys and build for the future. Thank you, and appreciate your time.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you for that overview. Definitely a lot of like content and concepts there that are definitely hard to squish into 5 minutes. So I'm glad we have this mingle session now. But yeah, thank you guys. That was the last presentation. So we're gonna head over now into the mingle session. So if you guys have any questions for any of the founders or even for myself in regards to the program, we'll be joining you in just a minute. So see you guys down there. Cheers.